Fugue is probably the most controversial character Hoyoverse has ever released for Honkai Star Rail. It's not because she's too weak like Jingyuan. In fact, she's extremely strong. Nor is it because she's an alleged racist like Sparkle. Not the voice actor, by the way, the character herself. Yeah, I didn't even realize this was a thing until I looked it up, but apparently it is. She is an issue due to what she represents as a meta unit, a unit which is the glue to the break team playstyle. It's no secret that break teams, more specifically Firefly teams, have been meta defining for most of version 2. To really understand the issue, we need to take a small trip down memory lane. Acheron was released in 2.1, and she held the DPS crown for a good while. But Gallagher, a very unassuming 4-star healer, marked the humble beginnings of the break team. It wasn't until 2.2, the release of Aventurion, that we got our hands on the new Harmony Trailblazer, the final piece of the break puzzle. To say that Harmony Trailblazer is best in slot for break teams would be an understatement. They single-handedly enabled the playstyle by allowing enemies to take super break damage when being hit whilst weakness broken. They were the glue to the break teams. The fact that they were completely free and so strong was a huge win for free-to-play players. Harmony Trailblazer along with Gallagher and Ron May meant that we had all the supporting cast for the break damage finale, but we were lacking a leading actor. It wasn't until patch 2.3 that we saw the release of Boothill. Boothill was our first premier break DPS. It gave us a glimpse into just what Hoyoverse was cooking. Insane single target DPS, the ability to implant specific elemental weaknesses into enemies so they can be used in any fight, and a new way to build characters. For the first time, we no longer cared for crit in any regard. We only wanted that juicy break effect. Boothill was great, and is still great today. But just the next patch we would see the release of the DPS queen herself. Our own little love interest, Firefly.
Sprouted from the earth. It bloomed in the morning sun. And whispered to me. Like fireflies to a flame. My biggest death.
She changed just what it meant to be a meta character. Look at any of my Honkai Star Rail videos, look at the most used teams on Pridwin or any other tier list. It didn't matter what the content was or what questions were asked of the player, Firefly was most likely the right answer. But I digress. Let's get back to what I said at the start. Fugue is the glue that holds the break team together. But Mr. Yai, you said the Harmony Trailblazer was the glue for break teams too. And to that I would say, that's exactly my point. For those of you who don't follow leaks or know about upcoming content, 3.0 will focus heavily on the summon playstyle. Agliea already looks extremely strong, and Sunday is looking to be the star support for summon teams in general. But much like in 2.0, 3.0 is going to bring us the new Remembrance Trailblazer. Now you might think, okay, another completely free meta-defining unit. What isn't to love? But herein lies the biggest issue. You cannot have Harmony Trailblazer and Remembrance Trailblazer at the exact same time. So you're left with 4 choices. Don't pull for Fugue, keep using the Harmony Trailblazer for your heavily invested break teams, and just pray that the leaks about Remembrance Trailblazer being completely broken are untrue, and your summon teams will still be just as strong without them. You could again not pull for Fugue, but this time pray that you never have to use both Trailblazers at the same time. Try to mix and match wherever needed. This is not really that feasible for endgame content. Or you can say screw it, throw out your invested break teams and just go all in on summons. Break is going to be power crept anyways, right? Or the final option, you can play right into Daddy Hoyoverse's hands. Pick up Fugue so that she can literally replace the Harmony Trailblazer like 1-for-1 with a little extra juice, so you can continue to pump massive super break damage. And then you can also spend more money for massive summon damage. Unfortunately, the truth of the matter is there isn't a right answer. I have the luxury of pulling for who I want. I like Fugue and I like my break teams, but I also cannot wait for the summon team, so I'm gonna pull for everything. But not everyone has that luxury. Hoyoverse pulling a sneaky one has left a good chunk of their player base between a rock and a hard place, and I can definitely see them doing this again for 4.0. My biggest worry is that new players and casuals who don't consume videos like this will look at tier lists on Pridwin and see that Firefly is really good. They're going to pull, and then they're going to see that Harmony Trailblazer and Fugue are on the exact same tier. They're going to think to themselves, why should I pull for Fugue when Harmony Trailblazer is just as good? Then they're going to find themselves doing less than half the damage they did when they now have to use the Remembrance MC instead. Look, my recommendation is this. If you really enjoy the break teams and have invested in them, whether that's Firefly, Rapper, Boot Hill, or all of them, I would try to get Fugue, as she is a straight upgrade, especially for Rapper and Boot Hill. Break will most likely hold up quite well in terms of damage, and the value will just always be there. If, however, you don't have any of these units, I wouldn't bother too much now and just invest more into the upcoming units, as they look fantastic. In the end, a free, super strong meta-defining unit was always going to be too good to be true. It is what it is, unfortunately. We are playing a gacha game at the end of the day, and all I can really do is pray for you free-to-play and low-spender players. Think carefully about what your options are and act accordingly, my friends. And that's it. Let me know what you guys think. A bit more of an essay type video this time round. I did leave a comment on my last video, but the recent support has been pretty insane. I can't thank you guys enough. Feel free to like and sub, and I'll be doing FUGUE content once the new MLC resets, so I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.